As today's guest was scoring a touchdown on Saturday, I texted Jones and said, John Copenhaver, welcome to the pod.
Oh, yeah. You knew right at that moment.
John, as you were crossing the goal line, is that what was on your mind? That I wonder if this is going to get me on the pod.
You know, it wasn't, but I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, that's just it. We got to the end eventually.
What was crossing your mind as you crossed the goal line, scoring the touchdown? This might surprise you. I've never scored a touchdown at Kenan Stadium. Is it as fun as it looks like?
It is. It's absolutely. A lot of emotions. First thing was just just how blessed I am. I'm a Christian. God is. He's a good God and He's a just God, and sometimes it doesn't go your way. So, last week against Charlotte, it was a little frustrating, but we were winning. We were driving down the field. So, when anybody scores a touchdown, and it's just happy to get off the field and let defense do the thing. But just giving all the glory to God for me is the main thing.
So this has been a very different year for the Carolina offense to this point. How have you and some of the other kind of older guys, how have you tried to manage this? How have you tried to lead a group with some different pieces than what you've had over the last couple seasons?
Yeah, being older on the team, obviously, you got to step into that leadership role, and Katie and Coach Brown and we've all been meeting together with leadership council, so we've been really honing in on that. Most definitely, and kind of with the ups and downs with the quarterbacks, we didn't know who was starting, who wasn't. It really didn't matter who was back there. We just kind of had to go in and do our thing, and whether it was Max, Connor, and Jacoby, we all knew that I'm confident with all three of them back there, and now with just Connor and Jacoby, it's the same way. So you just got to take every play at a time, and just go out there and play.
Yeah, I was gonna. Does it change anything for you? I mean, I know you're still doing your thing and that you trust all those guys, but they're also all a little bit different. So, I mean, do you have to get to know them in any way, kind of in the football sense, or is it just you're going out there and doing your thing and no matter what?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, like whoever's back there is back there, and Coach Lynch is going to call the plays regardless of who's back there. Sure. We're going to run the ball, obviously, with one of the best running backs in the country, and we're also going to throw it. So it really doesn't make a difference to me. But you do have to build the connection without a doubt. And we did that all throughout spring, all throughout training camp, and and even every day in practice.
Football's such a specialized game where people are really good at one thing, but to be a tight end, you got to be good at a lot of different things. Right. How do you figure out that this is the right position for you and that you can do all the things that are required to play that position?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I was saying earlier, it is frustrating, when you don't get the ball, because that's what you want to do. You want to get the ball, but when we're all having success on the field, and whether we run the ball, 60 plays and we're still scoring and we're still driving down the field, like at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. To me, it might sound crazy, but a pancake block is almost as equivalent as scoring a touchdown. It's great feeling, but again, it is frustrating, but that's just how the game goes sometimes. You just got to suck it up and go out there and play. And for me, I am a more blocking tight end, but that can also help in the passing game too.
What's the last pancake block you had that you really felt good about? Like, yeah, that one's going on the highlight tape.
I had one against Charlotte, but it wasn't like a solidified, just. I don't know. Maybe last year, but none really comes to mind. But the most recent one I had was Charlotte.
Do you have, when you are completing the pancake block? Mm-hmm. Do you have a few words for the guy, or can it just be left unsaid of what just happened?
No, yeah, you definitely kind of got to make them know that they're on their butt.
Remind them.
Yeah, or you just kind of just give them the eye. And
you don't seem like somebody that would come naturally to. Did you have to learn how to deliver the trash talk?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like when you come into college football, that's a given. So it's like most of the time I don't talk at all. I just kind of let my plan do the talking. But if they start talking trash, sometimes you just kind of gotta let them know that you're there. And but again, I'd rather let my plan do the talking.
Who talked trash to you when you were a young guy that kind of taught you, oh, this is the way?
You had Gimmel sometimes because I was came in at 2020. You had Jeremiah Gimmel. You had Tamon Fox. Even when Ced was here, Ced. Now we got AC. So Dez Evans he'll let you know that he's there. But it's all fun. Like we all know we're teammates at the end of the day. So, but I love the chippiness. Like the aggressiveness is awesome. You play to the very end of the whistle, and that's just kind of my motto.
You guys have a really talented room in total. I mean, certainly you and Bryson, veteran guys who have played a bunch. Jake Johnson has come in. You've got some young tight ends that are talented and coming along. Like, what's being a part of that room like, and what do you feel like your role in that room is? Yeah, no, it's awesome. That tight end group is, the past 2 years now, going on 3, has been amazing. And Coach Kitchens has done an amazing job with making us bond and have a great connection. And I think that it's probably more important than football, just because like these guys are gonna be in your weddings, are gonna be in your life the rest of your life. So, sure. I've gotten to know Bryson more than anybody on the team. Rooming with him for fall camp, every game. So it's awesome, and having Jake come in the spring, it's been nothing but great. So we need to get the younger guys in and kind of get a little more time under their belt. What was the second question? Just what do you feel like your role is in there? Yeah. I mean, obviously leading, because I've been here this would be my 5th year. I'm an old man, and I hear that every single day that I'm an old man, and but I am. So it's all fun and games. But yeah, definitely leading them, because they're all freshmen, sophomores, and they don't really have a lot of just game sense, game IQ. So just trying to lead them in that way, and just let them know that, hey, like, you might not be playing now, but like you never know when somebody's gonna get hurt. Like, sure. Bryson and I got banged up last year, and Jake's ready to go for either position, Y or H. So just letting them know that it can change just like that. And unfortunately, you saw with Max, like it can happen at any point in the game. So you just gotta always be ready, no matter what.
What makes Coach Kitchens a good tight ends coach? That feels like a position where a lot of guys have developed under his watch. Yeah, aside of his resume, being in the National Football League for a while, and he knows every position on the field. So when he's talking to us as tight ends, it's also us knowing what the O-line's doing, what the quarterback's thinking, the reads, what the running back's doing. Coach running backs, he did everything. So, and he played quarterback in college, so it's just knowing everything going on in the field, what the wide receivers are doing, all the concepts with that. So, for me, obviously, I'm blocking more than I am catching, which is, totally fine. That's how this offense is. And Bryson is vice versa. He's catching the balls more than he's blocking, but he can block too. Don't get it twisted. He'll put his head in there. But yeah, I mean, just honing in that on my blocking techniques, and then him on his route techniques, and yeah, so he's great. I love him. It seems like the two of you would vibe. Like, it just seems like you two would get along. You and Coach Kitchens. Mm-hmm. Is that accurate? Yeah. We're always going at each other and saying jokes and stuff. And again, going back to the tight end room, that's what makes us so close, because it's not all about football and watching film. Like, we always crack jokes and just talking about real life stuff. So yeah. It's just a great tight end room. If Drake May walked in here right now and said, "Let's take it down to the pickleball court," yeah, I'm waxing him. There was no hesitation there. Ping pong, pickleball, you name it. He's losing. You've defeated him in everything. Would he acknowledge that as well? The ping pong, without a doubt. He can't. I've got his number in ping pong, but the pickleball, he's got a few more games on me, but I'm not going to admit that to him. When y'all are hanging out, does he call you sir? Like, does he say yes, sir, when anyone asks him? Oh, gosh. Because he's known when he's with us, the whole May family sets world records for saying sir in a normal conversation. Right. No, I think it's just a southern, born and raised in him, and he's got good manners and stuff. But no, not with his friends, really. So just the old people, Jones. That's what John's trying to say. That's what John's trying to allude to right here. So you were pretty good friends with Drake. I mean, is that fair to say? So have you kept up with him? Do you know what's going on with him? Do you staying in contact? Yeah. So it was his birthday a few weeks ago. So I gave him a call then. And he's actually been here a few times. And I called him when he was actually leaving here, going back up to Boston. And, just said happy birthday and just, checking in on him. And, saying he wasn't going to be starting. But it's probably best for him.
just kind of get everything, kind of figure out how the game speed is and all that. So,
Sure.
But he's great. He's got his girlfriend here, so it's another reason to visit. But he's awesome. He's just a really down to earth guy. He's not super flashy, and that makes him who he is.
As someone who's caught passes from a lot of guys in your life, was there something about the way he delivered the ball that made you realize, oh, this guy he's a little different?
I mean, he's just on point with everything. When he's throwing the ball to whoever, and you're more than likely saying, all right, like it's going to be on the dot. So he was an elite quarterback, and he still is, and he's going to be in the NFL. So, he was close with the Heisman runner-up, and on the watch list and stuff. So, he's just a great quarterback.
You have, in your time at Carolina, you keep saying, well, I'm a good blocker, and that's accurate. But you've also become more involved in the pass game as your career has gone on. In fact, this past week was a career high for John as far as receptions in a game with the 6 that he had against Central. How have you tried to improve that aspect of your game, and like what kind of stuff are you working on to get better in that way?
Yeah, other than going to Coach Kitchens, obviously he's super knowledgeable. I'm going to my right-hand man, Bryson. Bryson is, a master on routes and, knows how to he's just super knowledgeable with his route running, and that's what he really hones in on. So when we're not doing special teams, I'm over there trying to ask him like, hey, how would you run this route with this leverage, or how would you run this route if it's zone or versus man? And so he's been super helpful with that, and just working new things in practice, because that's the time when you can do it. So just kind of going day by day with it.
What's the most fun route to run? Like if this gets called, you're like, all right, we got a chance to do something good here.
So probably in the low red, and it's just a one-on-one with me and the safety, or me and the backer. We worked a lot in fall camp, and we work it every day in practice. But it's just a one-on-one. You either win over the top or you get a back shoulder. So it's a lot of fun. You just see you can go up and go get it.
Back shoulder seems like it's difficult. Like that's a lot of reps, right? To get to the point where you both understand this is what's happening.
Right. I think it's just more of like a feel, like kind of like what I was talking about. If you can't win over the top and get a top shelf throw, then that quarterback's going to put on the back shoulder, and it's really hard for the defender to get that. So
you are wearing a performance nutrition. I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
So we had Javari Ritzy in here last week, and he was talking a lot about the nutrition program and how he thinks that has really helped him. And, of course, Coach Hess and strength and conditioning. How has that stuff helped you in your time at Carolina? And has it been different, like in the last year or so? Has there been any changes that you've noticed that have helped?
Well, I'd say sleep. Recovery is a big thing. And, Amber, our head nutritionist, and Coach Hess is always just drilling that into us, because that's the best recovery that you can get.
Yeah.
But no, Amber and Izzy, who are our head nutritionists, they're always on our butts. And I lost 5 pounds at practice today, just sweating. Wow. But and the other way to recover is by eating, because you're just losing so much, and a lot of it is water weight. But they're great. They go hand in hand together, Coach Hess and Amber. Always getting what you need in, always feeding you, and then Coach Hess with recovery and everything on that. Like they're not killing us in our workouts during the week, but it's good to just prime the engine for the game. So they're great hand in hand, and they really don't run us into the ground with the weightlifting too. So
now, is it hard for you? Like I know it's hard for some guys. Like when it's just John Copenhaver time, and you're like, man, those Oreos look good right now. Like, is there anything that gets you off the field that tempts you?
Yeah, I love just eating.
Yeah, look, I feel you, brother.
I'm not a huge sweet guy, but I love to get some ice cream every now and then.
Yeah.
So it's not like super hard on the sweet side, but I like to try and keep a figure, and that's where Amber and I butt heads, because Amber's like, you just need to eat, it doesn't matter, and you need to be strong and healthy, and I get that, but fried foods, I'm big into fried foods, not into eating fried foods and seed oils and all that crap. So like I love Chick-fil-A, but there's like 70 ingredients in that dang chicken breast. So it's like,
why would you even say that?
Yeah, let us live our life, John, where we just love the deliciousness.
So it is hard, because and a lot of fried food is delicious. I mean,
yeah, it is.
So it's like your other option is like grilled, and it's like grilled food,
right? Yeah.
But it's hard. So like during the summer, I'd cut out I cut out, like soda, sweets, and fried food. And it was last summer because this summer was a little different with recovery and everything, and rehab with all that. But I felt and I looked the best that I ever have, 2 summers ago. And obviously that was one with Coach Hess, working us out really hard. But I think there was also, my habits of what I'm eating and stuff. And there are some guys, like DK Metcalf says, he can eat McDonald's and it doesn't really matter. It won't affect him. But somebody, like me, maybe who I'm not, genetically gifted like that, I got to kind of watch what I'm putting in my body because it'll affect me on the field.
Sure.
When did you figure that out?
Probably, when you start playing, when you're young, you can do whatever, you can stay out to 3, 4 a.m. and wake up at 10 and be totally fine for practice, whatever it is. But like when you start playing and getting old, the old jokes. But yeah, I mean, just kind of like when you start playing a lot, you're like, dang, I'm not 16, 17 again, So you kind of just need to like watch what you're eating, watch what you're putting in your body, and like I said, it does affect you on the field. But some guys it doesn't, and I wish I was like that, but I'm not. So.
Look, I got bad news. It doesn't get any better.
Yeah, it's only downhill from there, huh?
What is something that's happened that's made you feel like, you know what? Not only am I getting these old jokes, I might actually be kind of old.
Just aches and pains, in your body. But that's a given with football.
Sure.
You're hitting each other every play, especially at the tight end position. I mean, just being the oldest in the group too, just getting the old head, and a couple of the guys are like 18 years old, and they're like, "Oh, you could be my dad then," or I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not that old." Like, geez, yeah, but just treating your body right, because like I said, you feel it everywhere in your body after the game, and you're just like, oof. So again, like the sleep is really big. We got the hot tub, cold tub, so. Just trying to stay on top of it, or else it'll get up to you, and then it'll be all a mental game from there. So, yeah.
Tell us about your tattoo.
Yeah, so I got this 2 summers ago. It says Tetelestai. It means it is finished in Greek. So when Jesus died on the cross, he said it is finished, and that's what it is in Greek. Great conversation starter. I can try and spread the word and just get a little piece of that in. And, Jesus is my whole identity, and he's my rock and my hiding place, and he's been nothing but good to me, and I'm beyond blessed, and I don't deserve any of it, but he continues to bless me. So
when did that become a really important part of your life?
So I grew up in a Christian home. I'm blessed to have both my parents in my life, and grew up going to church, and I actually led a Bible study with a few of my buddies back in middle school and all throughout high school. So it's always been a part of my life. But once you hit college, you're away from your parents. You can do your own thing. You can go out. You can, at the end of the day, like, you have drugs, you have alcohol, and you have women at the fingertips. Especially for athletes, it's all there. And a lot of the guys can attest for that. And it's hard. It is. And I made my identity on worldly things, on materialistic things, and that will always, always, always leave an empty hole in your heart. And I learned that the hard way, going through the 3 surgeries last year. It was a really, really tough time for me. And my mom and dad and my older brother, they were there for me through every step of the way, just knowing that, hey, like, God's got your back no matter what. And I did fall into some of those temptations, but I quickly realized I can't put my identity in football because it can be taken away just like that. And I realized that, with the 3 surgeries, I was sidelined for spring and a little bit of the summer, and it was super difficult because I've been playing since 2nd grade, and that's all I knew. And it was tough. It was really difficult. Like, frustrating. Being depressed about it, and me, being a victim in it was not helping at all. And the only thing that wasn't going to be shaken was putting my faith in Jesus and knowing that he is my firm foundation, and nothing can be shaken when the wind and storms come. So,
as you started to dabble in things you had not before, what made you decide this isn't who I am?
It's just so unfulfilling. Like I said, like the drugs, the alcohol, the women, like, you can have it all. You can. And it, like I was saying, it's just an empty void that you're trying to fill. And it might be good for 30 minutes. It might be good for an hour or 2, whatever it is. But you wake up that next day and you're like, what am I doing with my life? Like, this is not it. And I've got the Holy Spirit in me, and I know that little voice is saying, don't do it, don't do it, and I do it, and then I'd feel like crap. And I'm like, man, like, But I've got great mentors in my life. I go to Grace Church, so I've got a few of those, pastors and stuff that I was talking to, and I've got a few of the guys on the team that I kind of opened up to, and I think that's the best thing ever is to have, men around you that are going through the same thing, that you can just talk to because, you're not alone in this, and, iron sharpens iron. So that was just kind of like my mentality, and just shining a light on that sin was really good because it was like, like I can do this, but it's like, does it glorify God and in my relationship with Him? So,
just one more thing on this. I have to imagine, like, not everybody, and not just on the team, but in life, feel that way, and that's okay too. But how do you try and have those conversations with guys on your team? Like, how do you find that group, right? Because I'm guessing some people are like, oh, that's not my path or whatever.
Yeah, no,
like, how do you find that group?
Yeah, I mean, people just like in our group chat, they'll be like, hey, we're having a Bible study here. I don't know. It's just kind of like when you come in, you kind of find your group of friends, and you just kind of figure out, like who's like your true friends, like who are really for you. Like if you had nothing, like who would still be with you. So you kind of just figure that out as you go along, as you play and stuff, and it's really just kind of going out and making the connections and just
Sure.
Like I love having conversations with anybody and everybody on the team, outside of the team, about this stuff, and really just kind of finding out, like, because like when you open up, you're vulnerable, and you don't want someone just going like, oh, hey, did you hear what John said? Like, whatever, that's fine, but like some of that stuff you like to just kind of keep between you and that friend or that friend
Sure.
group. So like right now we have a Bible study that's probably like 5-8 dudes right now, and we open up, we're vulnerable, we all know we're going through the same thing. It might not look the same, but we do have similar problems. So just kind of finding like who those guys are, and going to church every weekend with them. So there are a lot of good dudes on the team, but you're right, like a lot of them aren't, like that's not for them, and that's fine. Still praying for them, and still hoping that God will soften their heart, and that's for us to plant the seed in their heart and for God to water it. So you can't, you can lead a horse to water, or you can't make them drink it. So
Sure.
Okay, Jones lied. Not one more thing.
Oh.
Now one more thing. How old are you?
23.
So vulnerability is not something that a lot of 23-year-old guys are super excited about or even really understand how to do.
Mm-hmm.
How did you figure out how to do that, and what made you comfortable doing that?
Like I was saying, like this past 8 months was tough. It was really, really hard on me. And I came off 22 season, came off the 23 season, a couple injuries, and really just knowing who my identity is in, and knowing that that I can just have an audience of one, and not really care. Like, no offense, love you guys, but I don't like, I can't care what you guys think. I can't care, what Jeremy, what Coach Brown thinks. At the end of the day, they can have their advice, what Coach Kitchen says, they can have their advice, they can have their input, but at the end of the day, I know who I am and who God says I am. And I think that's what's really helped me, is because like, even, I'm going to class, and we're talking about identity, which is right up my alley. I was just saying, like kind of what I've been saying to y'all, and I'm like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people think. Like, I'm going to do me, and I am going to try and give all the glory to God no matter what. And that audience of one has been kind of like a common theme for this past year, is, like I'm playing for the glory of God and nobody else. So I do get down about myself, and that's what Coach Kitchen and I talked about a lot, is like if I have a holding call, if I miss a block, whatever, bad footwork, I can kind of get in my head. I'm like, dang, like, why did I do that? But I just got to let that go and, just play the next play.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I know who God says I am. And so I think that's really helped me, having that audience of one no matter what.
All right, just a couple more things. What do you like to do outside of football?
Yeah, kind of touched on it, pickleball, ping pong. Jake and Max are actually really good at ping pong. I'd like to see them.
Oh.
I'd like to see them play.
Maybe get a little doubles.
Drake.
Maybe get a little doubles action going on.
And they're really good at pickleball too. So I'd like to see them play with Drake, because Drake will say, "Oh, I'm better." So we'll see. But just doing that, and I don't really like to go out and kind of do all that. So I just playing video games has been awesome. It winds me down, and just playing with guys on the team, it's a lot of fun. And I've just talked to my girlfriend, and just hanging out with her is awesome.
Have you played the football game?
Yeah, a few times. But growing up, I played shooter games like Call of Duty, all that, Modern Warfare. So I never really got into it. I played it a few times, but I'm really playing like Call of Duty and stuff like that. So.
But it's got to be cool to see yourself on a video game.
It is. And at the end of the day, like a lot of people will get in their heads with, oh, I should be, blah, blah, blah level. I should have this acceleration. All that. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like it is like, I think I'm an 80 or 80, whatever it is. Like I'd love for it to be higher, but like, it doesn't matter. Like it is what it is. And
look, I've petitioned the company. That response should come back
I mean,
soon,
I'm going to sue EA, but other.
You know what I think? I think that the players should have gotten a little bit more extra money for that. Because
look,
$500-$600. Like I know they're making more than that.
Yeah, it is called. There's a lot of joy from that game. There's no doubt.
You know what I think? Maybe if there was a podcast in the game, and then they paid the
we can work that. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Just throwing out ideas.
You guys are sitting at 3-0 right now. Of course, you got James Madison this weekend, big game, and then jumping into ACC play. What in your mind is important as you guys continue to move through these next couple of weeks to continue to improve?
Yeah, just taking it one game at a time. Like we're playing us against us. You've heard Coach Brown say that. Like that's our standard. We go against really good guys every single practice, every single week, and that helps us in the game. But yeah, it's just us against us. We can't get too ahead of ourselves. Like Duke is the next week, but like it doesn't matter unless we got to get through James Madison. So just really focusing on that. And Coach Kitchens has been amazing with this. Is be where your feet are. So. When I'm at practice, I'm at practice. When I'm in classes, I'm in class. And when I'm at film, I'm at film. You can't be focusing on anything too far ahead because then that'll just put you in a whirlwind and it won't be good for anybody. So Coach Brown has been really good with that too. You got to be where your feet are, and you can't be stressed about the future because you have no idea what's going to happen.